Hey guys, Jackie Luna here, your go-to realtor in the Northern California Central Valley area, here to share with you my top 5 home buyer tips when starting your home search. Tip number 1, check out the neighborhood. So when you find that home that you like, my recommendation is to go and look at the home, go drive the neighborhood in different hours. Check it out Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Check it out Saturday evening at 6 p.m. During the week too. The time that you first originally viewed the home, it might have been really quiet and really nice, but maybe Saturday evenings at 6 o'clock, the next door neighbor has band practice in his garage and he's in this, 5 or 6 piece band that the seller didn't tell you about when you first drove by. So I always like to stalk the neighborhood, if you will, and just check it out at all different hours to see what it's like. It'll give you a good idea as to what you're getting yourself into. Tip number 2, talk to a lender before you start your home search. Now, I talk to a lot of people who go online and look at these mortgage calculators online and figure out, oh my gosh, $400,000 house, 3.75, 5% down, my payment's $1,700 a month. Well, mortgage calculators online don't always give you the big picture. So it's best to talk to a lender prior to, putting an offer in on a home because they'll give you the entire picture. A lot of the time, mortgage calculators don't include property taxes. They don't include HOA fees. They don't include insurance amounts or even mortgage insurance, which all increase your payment. So yes, your principal and interest payment might be $1,700, but total with everything else included, you're really looking at about a $2,500 a month payment. So talk to a lender, get all the information from them. Don't look at mortgage calculators. Another thing to note is that a lender is going to run your credit. They're going to look at all of your personal information and they're going to be able to give you your credit score, which will determine what your interest rate is going to be. So an online mortgage calculator is not going to be able to do that for you. So talk to a lender. Number 3, I always recommend to weigh what you can afford versus what you actually want to pay. So with the example, you're approved for $400,000. Your rate's 3.75. You're putting 5% down. Your monthly mortgage payment's going to be $2,500. Now, if you look at that number and you say, okay, $25 is not what I want to spend each month. I want to spend a maximum of $2,200. Then you need to scale it back a little bit. Go for what you want to pay versus what you can afford. So $2,200 a month is going to give you more of a purchase price of about $355,000. And I always say, if you're looking at that price point and you're not finding the house that you want and you feel comfortable maybe going a little bit higher, then go higher at that point. But don't always just jump in with what you can afford. Go forward on your home search with what you want to pay. Number 4, hire a real estate agent. This is probably one of my most important tips, is to hire a real estate agent. Hire somebody who is going to be a valuable partner for you to help navigate you through a transaction. So I like to tell my clients to look at real estate agents as like Sherpas, right? You're not going to go climb Mount Everest on your own, put on a backpack and just pack a tent and decide you're going to head up there. No, you're going to get somebody who's done this multiple times. They know where to go. They know how to set up camp. They know what to eat, what not to eat. They know where to step and where not to step. They are going to guide you to the top. Look at your real estate agent just like a Sherpa. They are going to guide you to the top and they're going to take you with them. So they really are a valued partner and they can really guide you through some murky issues that can arise in transactions and do arise in transactions. So always work with a real estate agent. And number 5 is prepare for closing costs. This is a big one that I don't see a lot of buyers preparing for. In today's market, at least in the California area, Northern California where I'm at, it is a seller's market and it is near impossible to get a seller to pay for closing costs for you. So typically consider paying between 2 and 6% of your purchase price specifically to closing costs, completely different from your down payment, specifically that goes towards closing costs. And your lender will be able to give you an estimate of what that amount will be and the breakdown of what exactly that is. And I'm going to have a video on closing costs coming up very shortly. So check back in the comments below and I'll put a link for it, and then just check the videos also soon. And you can watch the video on what closing costs even are. But always be prepared when it comes to closing costs. Bonus tip for you that kind of pulls together a lot of the tips that I just gave you. When you talk to your lender, get an estimated payment amount and closing costs. Get an estimate of everything. Your lender will be able to break down for you exactly what your closing costs will be to a certain degree. It will be an estimate, of course, because all title and escrow fees are different. But they'll be able to tell you exactly what your mortgage payment's going to be. They'll be able to tell you all of the fees that are going to play into that. If there's an HOA fee, what your insurance is going to be, property taxes will be on specific properties. Make sure you're comfortable with those numbers prior to going into contract on a home. I just had a situation yesterday actually where I brought in a buyer, our offer was not accepted. The buyer's offer who was accepted literally backed out the very next day after their offer was accepted because they weren't comfortable with the monthly payment. Their lender never gave them the payment amount that they were going to be making. And when they did, they were shell shocked and they canceled the contract. So the listing agent called me because we have the next best offer and my client is currently in contract on that house. And we went over all the numbers prior to putting in the offer. So just make sure you get an estimate from your lender. Really simple to ask for, and they'll know exactly what you're talking about. I hope this answered all of your questions. And if you have any questions on any of the information that was given, please feel free to leave a comment below. I'd be more than happy to answer it, or make a video on any of the questions that you have. Happy house hunting, and I will see you very soon with more videos.